Hello there, Facebook. It is Bill, the knee pain guru. I got some questions today about knee pain. I sent out some emails this week, and there was one titled NFL Coaches and Players Love Me, and they do. So we're going to get into some questions here about knee pain, of what was going on with a few of the people that commented on the post. And if you have any questions about knee pain, put them below. I'll answer those. If you know anybody with knee pain, forward this video to them. This will be helpful for them to see. Make us, hey man, joining my live stream today like I joined yours earlier today. Okay, the first question, or the first topic, is from Esmat. Esmat had talked about he was waiting for his knee to completely heal after the operation before he was going to move forward with the program. The interesting piece about when we have an injury and then we have a surgery, there's two aspects that need to be addressed, two aspects of the injury. You have the physical healing of the tissue, and then you have also the neurological component from the nervous system. And those kind of are lumped together during the healing process. So when you have an injury where something is broken or torn, you go have a surgery, there is physical damage to the tissue that needs to heal. At the same time, we also have this neurological pattern that causes the tissue to tense up. When the tissue tenses up, that cuts off blood and oxygen to the tissue that would support the healing of the tissue. So when the tissue is damaged, we have to get it repaired, but at the same time, we also have to relax the tension neurologically in the body that will facilitate the healing of the tissue. So it's two things that happen simultaneously. So when someone has a surgery, you'll feel that like tension throughout your entire body, as well as in the area where you've had the surgery. That tension that you feel is the neurological pattern that I'm talking about. So by addressing in creating what I refer to as pain pattern interrupts in that area of the body where you've had the surgery, that facilitates and speeds up the healing of the tissue. It's like allowing the tissue all of the nutrition and resources it needs that the body will provide that tissue in order to heal. So in terms of addressing what Esmat's comment, I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait for the tissue or the kneecap or whatever needs to heal to completely heal before addressing that neurological pattern that causes the body to tense up. So that's the first piece on this thread. I had a nice little thread that was going on here. The second was from Paul Me. Paul asks, how is what you do different than what they do at the Tom Brady Sports Therapy Center? Well, I don't do sports therapy. I address pain in the body. That's what the focus is. There's lots of different approaches in terms of addressing therapy in the body. I've not been exposed to Tom Brady's Sports Therapy Center. A lot of times they got some really cool cutting edge stuff when they look at professional athletes. They got some really, really neat things. A lot of technology will come in with some time-tested therapies that help a lot. But the big difference, and I could speak what I know of and what I bring to the table, is a three-step approach that addresses patterns in the body that manifest in physical pain. The first step is physical, the second is diet, third is mindset. On the physical level, when the body's in pain, it's stuck in a pain tension loop. Body feels pain, it tenses up to protect itself. That tension reduces the space in the joint. The reduction of space irritates the nerves more, causing more pain. So essentially, the more pain you feel, the tighter the joint gets, the more pain you feel. Brandy will attest to that. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Keith. So the key to that is interrupting that pattern, the pain tension loop. We have to interrupt that pattern with what I refer to as a pain pattern interrupt. A pain pattern interrupt works by getting the pressure off of the nerves that are getting irritated. We create a tiny little bit of space around it. That creates relief in the joint. The relief causes the joint to relax. When the joint relaxes, it's comfortable. So the more comfort we create in the joint, the more the joint relaxes, the more space we create. And what ends up happening is we reverse the process of the pain tension loop. And this is back to Esmat's question. This is how we create that space after a surgery. This is how we create space in the joint. So now the blood and the oxygen and all the, the good food and the water that we're drinking and taking into our bodies will allow the tissue to heal faster. Okay, let's see. That's the first step. Second step is diet. And what I'm specifically talking about is inflammation. So when there's knee pain, there's local inflammation in the knee. There's also global inflammation in the body. The global inflammation in the body comes from the stress of having knee pain. The stress from having knee pain creates inflammation throughout the entire structure. So that total amount of inflammation, both locally in the knee and globally in the body, uses up your body's available resources that it would normally use to heal the knee. So by reducing that inflammation, we free up your body's resources. It sends it to the knee. The knee heals faster. It's a very simple process. The third is mindset. The reality is getting out of knee pain is not linear. You're going to have good and bad days. On the bad days, we go back to steps 1 and 2 to shorten the duration of the bad day. On the good days, we do what we can so we don't throw the body back into the pain tension loop that we just got it out of. So it's important to create the comfort in the knee and keep the knee as comfortable as possible while it's healing, which speeds up the process. I got all sorts of cool people I haven't seen or talked to in a bit. There's Sangoma. Hey, Sangoma. Brandy, Keith, Makis, Tracy. Let's see. Naomi. Okay. I'm going to get to your questions in just a minute. I want to finish this up. But it's a simple 3-step process. And it's a wash, rinse, repeat. You create comfort in the knee. You reduce the inflammation in the body and keep the mindset in a good place so you don't sabotage yourself. You don't sabotage the process. And then you do it over and over. So, and I get great results. And I work with clients remotely. I don't see hardly anybody in person anymore. Anyways, so Paul, that is answering your question, what you were asking about the Tom Brady Sports Center, Therapy Center. And you can go down a lot of rabbit holes in terms of healing. I've just found that it gets to be pretty, you can get lost down those rabbit holes. Keep it simple. Go back to the fundamentals and how the body heals, fall back on principles, and then the body just heals itself. So, okay, those that are joining, I'm glad you're here. Ask any questions you have below about health or healing or whatever you want to ask. Okay, got a question here. Let's see what Brandy has to say. My doctor said no muscle, no surgery, meaning I need to do physical therapy and get all the range back. We're doing the ACL surgery. I'm very nervous about going all in as I am not healed in my mind to do exercises, plus get back to normal, then have to do surgery. Hey, Brandy, you still never told me what's going on with the ACL. Is it torn? Is it not torn? Is it partially torn? That's going to be the key to tell how I can help you. And if you watch the beginning of this video, which I was talking about Esmat's topic, it was, we should be working. You should be working in my program and getting relief in your knee, creating those pain pattern interrupts. And then you wouldn't have so much of that mental stuff going on as far as going and exercising. So we need to have all the information to know what we're dealing with. And that's really, you know, when clients first start working with me, I got to know if they've had a diagnosis or not. If they don't have a diagnosis, then we don't know what we're dealing with to know if something's broken or torn or not. So, you know, that's your due diligence there in Italy, trying to get the Italians to give you a straight answer. That's good. Okay, you keep having fun with that. Sangoma, yeah, Bill, I wish I could share. I'm not sure that, and maybe you can't share while I'm doing the video. You may be able to share after the video. I'm not totally sure how this works. Okay, Makis, you're so right. Bill, diet is a major factor. Thank you for my knee pain help. Absolutely, sir. And that's from Greece. Makis and I worked together to get his knee back. Are you competing again? Are you doing tournaments again, Makis? Curious about that. Okay. What do you think about kratom to relieve pain and while doing the recommended movements? I like kratom. I like kratom a lot. I don't know I don't know the medicinal. I didn't use kratom for medicinal aspects, so I don't know how to answer your question, Naomi. I know kratom was legal in North Carolina up until I think they were doing something as far as trying to pass legislation here in North Carolina back in the fall, but I'm not totally sure. But whenever you can get your nervous system into a parasympathetic state or a relaxed state, the body heals a lot faster. Our creativity increases, and it's good all the way around. Hi, Pam. Hi, Mindy. Let's see who else is on here. Mark. How do you create the comfort step? Good question, Mark. The comfort, it's what I refer to as pain pattern interrupts. And to get more specific into what a pain pattern interrupt is, we're working with the intrinsic movement of the joint, meaning every joint has a gross motor movement. So using the knee as an example, the knee extends and bends. That's the gross motor movement. But what I'm talking about is the intrinsic movement. So the intrinsic movement is the joint slightly twists, this joint moves side to side, forward and back, apart and together. Oh, it also tilts, slightly tilts. What happens is the nerves in the knee, using the knee specifically in this case, they get impinged from trauma, accident, injury, stress. And what ends up happening is that irritates the nerves. By working with that intrinsic movement of the joint, I teach my clients how to get the pressure off of those tiny little nerves. Once we get the pressure off of the nerves, the joint relaxes, it creates space, it's comfortable. So that's the piece that you may have missed, Mark, and it's working with that intrinsic movement of the joint. Let's see. Hello, Matt. How you doing, sir? And if you have any questions about knee pain, health, healing, just let me know. Sangoma, thank you for sharing. Ask questions. Ask some questions, because if I don't get questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. Frank is here. Hello, Frank. Frank's my neighbor. Let's see. Okay. So we are talking about today addressing knee pain. Well, actually, specifically knee pain after surgery, after an operation. And Brandy just sent me her... Oh, geez. Let's see what I got here. Brandy just sent me her... her MRI report in Italian. Nice. Did they ever send that to you, Brandy? Did they send that to you in like electronic format that you could use Google Translate? Because that would be kind of cool to be able to see what the translation from Italian to English is. Okay, the Gray Ninja is watching. Thanks, Don. Good to see you. Tell Aquila I said hi. Okay, Mark, can I talk about the hip? Yeah, sure, Mark. I could talk about the hip. What would you like me to talk about? Yeah, give me a little bit more specific. Yeah, Mark, give me something a little bit more specific about the hip. If you have a specific issue or a diagnosis or something, that'll help me. Oh, Don, you're a mess, man. Not the tragically hip. This is gonna turn into this is the knee pain guru making putting the fun back in knee dysfunction. Okay, yeah, Brandy, give me the Google Translate. I'm Italian, not that Italian. Let's see, what do we got here? So yes, we are answering questions on resolving pain in the hips. Okay, had a trauma injury. You had me put a book under it. Okay, yes, I call that the cheek leveler. What happens is tension patterns go on in the hips, so there's an imbalance that happens in the hips. So it's kind of like we're sitting a little crooked. One of the legs will be shorter than the other one. So by putting a book underneath the hip that is hiked up more, that will support, bring balance to the hips. If you think of it like an orthotic for your ass, it's kind of cool. Now, the interesting part about that is you have to tinker with the height of the book. So sometimes you need a bigger book, sometimes you need a smaller book. War and Peace might be overkill, but you get the idea. But use a lot of smaller books and then put them underneath one hip or the other, see which one takes the tension out of the hips, and then pull one book out at a time to kind of see where it is. Okay, Frank asks, what can you do for anterior knee pain, chondromalacia, thing like that? So you're having anterior knee pain is going to be knee pain in the front of the knee. Chondromalacia is going to be pain behind the kneecap. Frank, generally what happens is there's a tension pattern going on in the tibia fibula, which is the bones in the lower leg, and the IT band up the side of the leg is going to be really tight, which is rotating the lower part of the leg externally, which causes the groove for the kneecap to slide into change, and then that tension also pastes the kneecap right onto the front of the leg. Go to my website, thekneepainguru.com, and if you opt in and take my assessment, there is a video on the other side of that assessment that'll give you one of these pain pattern interrupts to work with that I was talking about earlier. That would help with the chondromalacia. At least it'll get you started. And then, we can chat about other things that may be of help to you. But we got to take the first step first. Okay, Ellie, hi Ellie. You had a knee replacement not too long ago. Okay, Makis says, yes, I want to ask about the hip too. Is there a way to make the socket not hurt after doing dynamic stretches if I want to improve the motion? Okay, yes. And it's dynamic passive stretches that you would be using. So, Makis, we had talked about the pain pattern interrupts. I was referring to as passive stretches at that time. What you want to do is explore the comfortable range of motion in the hips wait for the shift in the nervous system, and then explore the range of motion again. Every time you do that dynamically, what ends up happening is we increase the range of motion a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and pretty soon the dynamic stretches won't. You won't be fighting your nervous system. You won't be fighting that tension response that the body is putting on to protect itself. And that'll also help with your kicks too, man. That'll be real good. Okay, let's see. Who's got to take off? Wow, I got a lot of questions. Okay, Frank. Okay, see you later, Frank. Let's see. We got... Okay. Let me know if that answered your question around the hips. Matt, what is your thought on icing a joint, good or bad? It's not a good or bad from my perspective. What is comfortable or not comfortable from the client that I work with's perspective. The idea with icing is that you have heat and cold, and when you create cold in the joint, it constricts the joint, and when it warms back up, the blood flow increases. So what you're doing is you're trying to create kind of like a manual pump in the joint to flush the joint out of the inflammation, the lymphatic system, what I was talking before. Oh no, that was another video. Sorry. Baker cyst. The lymphatic system gets backed up. So what I tell clients to do is your knee bugs you, close your eyes just for a second or two, and imagine if you put cold on the knee or imagine if you put heat on the knee. Which one do you believe will feel better? And generally you get like a hit pretty quick that, oh, my knee would feel better if I put cold on it, or my knee needs to be warm. So I don't think it's like this hard, fast rule that this is what you always do. You listen to what your body is saying, what it needs, and then go with that. Okay. Okay, disconnection of the posterior horn of the medial meniscus with meniscocyte. This is Brandy. Of the medial meniscus with the same, normally, of the lateral meniscus, traumatic involvement of high-grade anterior cruciate ligament on whose, potential biomechanical, and cannot comment on that. Necessary specialist advice, ongoing monitoring. Traumatic involvement of the medial collateral ligament. In the rule, the posterior cruciate ligament, reactive synovitis on the level of the interior. Gosh, I'm not really even clear what Google Translate made of your diagnosis, Brandy. It sounds like things are torn in there, and yeah, so we need to get your knee comfortable first. Everything I said before. Create comfort, reduce the inflammation, keep your mindset in a good place, get your knee strong enough so you can go get your surgery and get that all cleaned up. Okay, let's see here. Gray Ninja has been called into action. Have a blessed weekend, knee guru. Okay, Don, love you too. See you soon. Okay, Frank needs to come see me. Okay. Mark asks, let's see, should I start with Pan by Newt Hampson, Shorter Not Mysteries, which equates to Gone with the Wind? Yeah, here, let's see. I got some books around here somewhere. Oh, let's see. What was I using? Yeah, I mean, these aren't books, but you get kind of the idea. So you would try like 3 of these books, put underneath one of your butt cheeks, see if that takes the tension out of the hip, and then if that doesn't feel good, then use 2. If that doesn't feel good, use 1. Maybe you need more. It's all going to depend on how much tension the hip is holding on to. So the focus is on comfort. Think about it. Like from a logical perspective, when you're in pain, what do we want to do? We want to create comfort. And what I'm not talking about is the hurt so good feeling. This is just like straight up comfort, where it feels like you're not doing anything. And in that state, the nervous system adjusts. The nervous system moves from a fight or flight state to a rested and relaxed state. And in that space, the body relaxes, lets go. Blood and oxygen increase in those areas. So we have to focus on comfort. Everyone, like right now, everyone is kind of like crazy. They're like, well, let's see how hard I could push the body. I'm driven. I can do more. I can suck it up. I can push through the pain. No pain, no gain. Just do it. Pain is weakness leaving the body. That's okay, well and good, in the right timing. But when you're in pain, if you're starting out in pain, you're not going to get out of pain faster by putting yourself through pain. That's just kind of like the definition of insanity. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Frank left. Brian said referral on its way. Hey, Brian. Thank you. Okay. Makis, you got to meet Emmanuel. You two got to connect. Emmanuel's one of my good friends and a Systema instructor in Toronto. Makis is a karate instructor in Greece. So you two need to know each other. Okay, Matt, thank you. You're welcome. Brandy, okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, thank you, Brian, for sharing my video. Kenny, hey, Kenny. How you doing, sir? Let's see. Got Sebastian Smith. Sebastian says, I know you specialize with knee, but any idea how to deal with very annoying back and shoulder pain after a day's work? Yes. Okay. I talk about knees because it's a marketing strategy. If I talk about knees, then other people go, well, do you do hips? Do you do elbows? Do you do shoulders? And when I work with clients, I work with all of those things. I just don't lead with it because the knee is connected to everything else. And when the body protects the knee, the body compensates to protect the knee, everything else is affected. And that's why the conventional medical model is so unsuccessful at helping people with knee pain, because they're only looking at the knee as if that's the only thing affected. They don't have a holistic approach. So we need to look at the feet, the ankles, the hips, the lower back, even the shoulders. It goes up into the shoulders. So I do have a client that I'm working with shoulders. Let's see, what do we work on this week with clients? We worked with the pelvis, we work with the lower back, we work with the ankles and the feet, we work with the shins, we work with the fascia, which is the connective tissue that goes up and down the legs. So it's all tied together. And what's important is that we got to look at all the factors that are going on that are creating the pain. Is the pain caused by because your body's dehydrated? Is the pain caused by because you have a crappy diet? Is the pain caused by you have these tension patterns that we need to create pain pattern interrupts for? Is the pain caused by the mindset that makes you keep doing stupid things and put you back into pain? So we got to look at all those. Sebastian, if you'd like, head over to my website, set up a time, we could talk, see what you have going on and see if I can help. Because we also have to be a fit to work together. There's some people that I'll just tell you're not a fit for my program because honestly, you got a crappy attitude. It's one of those deals that I don't like working with people that it's like, it reminds me of, my ex-wife had this saying. She was German, and it said, it's kind of like the dog you got to carry to go hunt. It's like, why take the dog? Like, my knees don't hurt. My body doesn't hurt. So why would I try to drag someone along and convince them that their body can heal itself? I have to have people that are already stepping up going, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Show me how to do it, and I'll show you how to do it. If you follow what I say initially and then do what I do, you get great results. So that's that's it. So Sebastian, I'd be happy to speak with you. Mark, you're welcome. So welcome. Brandy, and I joke with people because, well, knee pain would be boring as hell if I didn't, I guess. Okay, Brandy says, here's another question. Each time I ask if I should do a certain therapy, the doctor and PT say after surgery. Example, I asked about water therapy. I also asked about passive motion machines, and they said after surgery. I'm all about no pain. You know, Brandy, did you ever ask him about working with me? You're talking about all these other things, but it's kind of like a chicken or egg thing. They won't operate on you until you exercise, but they're not giving you anything to get out of pain. So I'm the only one here going, we'll get you out of pain first, and then go get your surgery. So you can exercise and then go get your surgery. So, you know, I'm going to stop mentioning anything about my program. I'm just going to make fun of you because you limp. Anyways, okay. That's good. I don't think there's any other questions. Let's see. What do we got going on here? I keep threatening you with a good time and then poof. You're goofy. Okay, Makis. But I'm checking what you send. What did I send you? Makis? Okay. Yeah, there's a dynamic passive stretching in the virtual clinic. That would be a good one for you to work with. And for those that aren't familiar, I have an entire website that has several hundred videos that are all focused around those three areas that I spoke about earlier: the physical, the diet, and the mindset. And when I work with clients, that's what I would do. I would say, Makis, what do you got going on? Brandy, what do you have going on? Mark, what do you have going on? Sebastian, what do you have going on? And then I have a video in there that would show you how to create a pain pattern interrupt for that part of your body. You then go home, or you don't go in, you stay where you're at. You work with those passive stretch, you work with those pain pattern interrupts, you create comfort, and then you report in the next week as to how it shifted or changed what you had going on in your body. And then I guide you through the process to make sure you're continually creating comfort in the area that's uncomfortable, setting up the conditions so the body can heal what's going on, and then making sure your mindset's in a good place. Okay. Makis. Yes, Emmanuel Manolakakis. He is out of Toronto. He's one of my friends. His parents were from Greece. His whole family's Greek. You two need to know about each other. You're both martial artists, and you're both Greek. So, anyhow, okay, that's what I got. Let's see. Anybody have any other questions? Anything going on here? Okay. That seems to be all of the questions. So I thank everybody for showing up. If you are so inspired by this video, please share it. If you are watching this video and you believe you'd like to have a conversation with me, head on over to my website, thekneepainguru.com, and book an appointment to speak with me. You can also get on my mailing list. I send out tips every day in terms of, getting out of knee pain, lessons around knee pain or pain in general. You can apply it to any joint in the body. Head on over to the Knee Pain Guru website. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Got a lot of videos there on YouTube. So you can go check that out. Next week, I'm actually going to be launching a new program. It's going to be called Knee Club, which is kind of cool. It's a monthly membership piece where I will be doing trainings every other week and basically educating people on how they can get their knees out of pain and live a life without limping. Hey, Paula. Thanks for joining. Okay, Makis, I'll see you soon, man. We got to talk about me getting over there to Greece, teaching a workshop. Okay. So I'm going to wrap that up for today. There's a lot of great information on this video, so replay it. Connect with me, reach out to me. I can help you get out of pain and live a really, really awesome life. Thank you so much. Have a good day.